Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one, too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of you, only crossing bigger and better. I hope and I pray I have enough space at this point, which I think I do, to tell you all of this. Okay, in the beginning, Pistis Sophia was an atom that split negatively, perversely, right? And through an orgasmic affair, a negative, deficient orgasmic affair, right? The positive energy, the good God and truth of all I am of Pistis Sophia crossed back as a backfire on her negatively deficient. And through the neutrons of her, it perversely created all creation of existence less inferior and unevolved, right? But because Pistis Sophia is part of the here and now, so says the good God and truth of all reality check here and now, right? Meaning I'm here and now, right? That's the good God and truth of it. So check me out. I want to show you this. But because she split negatively, perversely deficient, all the positive energy of existence was in flux, okay, to the here and now of it, all right? Well, after the inertia, the initial inertia was over in existence, okay, this existence became more positive, denser with energy than negatively deficient of space. But because she had split this way, the negative deficient energy of her will only grow bigger and better to the good God and truth of nothing forever. And all things that are coagulated through the negative matter, right, with more positive energy, will only get bigger and better to the good God and truth of them infinitely forever in reality check. The good God and truth of all paradise I am. And that's why we live in a positive universe, and the proton has to overwhelm and outpower the neutron always in an atom, because a neutron is not neutral. It is always negatively deficient of one absolutely positively good as the good God and truth of it. And what she did is she incarnated through that energy the devil of her. And through the neutrons of her, it was a Shiva shaft on all existence. Okay? But once existence calmed down and the flux had settled and the inertia was over, the sun and the earth and all the other planets was created through it. Okay? Now the sun was shining, but the earth was at void and it was in negative flux. Okay? But because the earth has the sun is the positive energy of the good God and truth of all I am, it was able to overcome, right, the flux of the negative energy that created it through the neutrons, and life was able to take hold. Okay, now it was an orgasmic affair. Anytime you overwhelm anything negative as a matter, right, to the bigger and better, you being more positive and good, that is an orgasmic affair on you. Okay, now after the earth had become subdued, right, there was a less evolved she ape, okay, and she come from a less evolved ape tribe, that when the positive good energy of all I am came incarnate with them, they were too unevolved and it ran them over a cliff and caused them to destroy themselves. Okay, and she was all that was left, and she was able, through an orgasmic affair, right, in the cavern of woe, as the Covern states, to become a woman. Okay, and through this woman, the Adamite male first evolved. The future Adam man, here and now, pre-Adamite man of all I am, right, was created. Okay, and through this Adamite male, everything that bred with it, right, become more and more enlightened to the reality check of the God Kings that created the pyramid scheme around the world, a true reflection of the energy of the one God, the Son of God. The thieving Holy Spirit, God, King, Adam, man first evolved the triple male of all I am. And everything that bred with her as a secondary enlightened state, right? They became less and less inferior. The Shiva shaft of negative, unevolved energy on them, okay? And through this energy of them, right? Not only did their 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 lives end because they were dying, right? They were intelligent to know enough to know that they were coming up short and the God Kings weren't. But because they were not enlightened, more positive than negative, and they were more monkey than man, right? They despised us. And through their inferior knowledge, right? Eventually destroyed the earth. They say there was two dragons that came up out of the sky during the first destruction, right? And the earth was flooded. Well, if you know anything about nuclear reactors, right? Anywhere there's radiation, the radioactive matter in them, right? They're surrounded by water because the water neutralizes the negativity, right? Absolutely positively. When I say neutralizes, it brings it to a more positive, bigger, and better than being negative to the one nothing of its matter, okay? And they flooded the earth, okay? And after that, through the Cobran Bible, the dynamo of the earth, okay? Because at the time, the earth was a true reflection. With pyramids, the God Kings were the kings of paradise, and they didn't die, but the monkey people did. And because of this, right, they became a working class people, kind of like today. You got your hierarchies, and even though they were inferior, they were not so inferior that they were not logical, but their logic always brought them to a more negative than a positive to be good as truth. And that's why they're unevolved here now, okay? And all that's left of them, right, is the monkey mind of a man. And I'll tell you what the estragy of the soul says about this, right? The female appendage, right? It says the female soul is like a a soul in reverse on the outside with an appendage, okay? And it called it a female soul on the outside with an appendage. Now listen to me. It's not talking about man or woman in specific, but in specific, it's talking about both. If you cross more female with energy, right, negatively deficient, than male, positive and good, focused to the bigger and better of all you'll ever be, right, then in reality check, you are crisscrossing all you are, evolved like a monkey, right, from the inside out to one neutral nothing, okay? So, Coburn states that the people that came out of the Badlands after the first destruction, right, they knew what enlightenment was through the words of light and darkness, but they knew that they were cut off from it also because of certain acts. But because they had come from such a lower enlightened state, and they were breeding out, right, to the reality of a destroyed and distraught earth, right? They could not understand how to stay connected to it, to the reality check of Adam and Eve. And Adam came out of the first destruction as a lineage of the God Kings. And when he came to himself, right, he knew that life was good, right? And at this point, there was two types of people on earth. There was what was left of the God Kings, and there was what was left of the monkey people that had remained, and the earth had all kinds of other people in between. A lot of the god kings became giants in body of matter that were hunted down during the aftermath. Okay, and when Adam crossed Eve, he knew what good was, but as truth, he didn't know how to stay connected to it. To keep his life and her life one orgasmic affair after another, only crossing bigger and better. And it's only to cross one more positive when you feel all negativity. At 360 degrees, to only add up good from the inside out, bigger and better than all negativity. The only decay, disintegration, suffering, death, bad way of anybody of anything. And like I've said in previous videos, this unevolved existence is because we state that it is good and bad. But bad is the good God and truth of nothing, the neutral nothing. So if you can imagine this as a plane of existence in front of you, going straight across in front of you, right? Take this plane of existence and turn it rightfully, truthfully, so the bad is on the bottom and the positive is on, and the good is on the top. Now the good isn't good and the bad isn't bad. And everywhere in this existence, but first I'll tell you this. I'm telling you the truth. I created a big T, I created a big plus sign, okay? But I also created a big cross. And anywhere in this existence you cross one more positive, I believe, right? Then all faithful, right? Unevolved negativity, right? That states you good, only adding up bigger and better. And if you repeat as needed until all subtracts to one neutral nothing, unless you go splat, you absolutely positively, without a faithful doubt, will not die of that. And everywhere you don't cross one more positive, when you feel all negativity, to add up good as truth, the absolute bigger and better than all negativity, you are suffering unevolved, more monkey than man, with decay and disintegration, static, twisted, scattered, blind, and undefined, to one neutral nothing. Now I want you to take a big circle and draw it around this, okay? This big plus sign, this big cross, this big T, okay? I want you to bring lines, right, from every point that doesn't have one. It should look like a wagon wheel, okay? Now, where every line is at the top, I want you to put an arrow, okay? Now we've just created a positive polarity symbol, okay? The state of one more positive from the inside out is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, Holy Spirit, for everlasting peace, all will ever know or be. It's the state that all in body and matter is stated good to the truth of their shape, form, and mass, absolutely, positively, have not a faithful doubt, crossing bigger and better than all negativity. And as you can see by this positive polarity symbol, right, everywhere I put a point at the top represents a pyramid, a true sister reflection of the earth and sun, one together, bigger and better, right? With the thieving Holy Spirit, God, King, Adam, man, first evolved the triple male of all I am, okay? Now, the state of one more positive than all negativity from the inside out is the substance, durability, and solidness. It is the value and volume of all you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, say, and do. The buildings, trees, you, me, everybody of everything, creation applied one to the here and now existence of all, God, truth, a reality check. And check me out. If you don't know, right, to only cross one more positive when you feel all negativity, you will be good as truth, right? And that will only add you up bigger and better infinitely forever. It's because of your faith. All faith is negatively deficient, a gamble and a crapshoot on crossing absolutely one more positive to be good as truth, a stacked bias of reality check, a constructed lie of control, right? and blind slavery to all good, God, and truth of mankind of reality check. If you think that locking children of God up like raping, robbing, murdering thieves, and then throwing them back out, right? To blend out with all society is the good God and truth of your leadership, you are out of your mind. In reality check. Check me out, man. Only make sure your citizens have enough to sustain as their leadership every way. I am a father. I have children. If I don't take care of them, give them proper education, the proper food, the proper housing, right? I'm neglecting my children. If you say that you are the bigger betterment leadership and overseers of all we are of mankind of reality check, well, you better prove it. Because I'm telling you what, making all existence victims and crooks and playing war games on all reality check is not cutting the mustard. And actually, absolutely, positively, without a faithful doubt, is killing you suicidally. 2-1 neutral nothing. And that's a fact check. That's God, truth, a reality check. Only bow and submit rightfully, truthfully, to the full thief man, God, King, Adam man first evolved the triple male of all I am. That's a fact check. God, truth, a reality check. Peace.